You ever buy something just to spite a whole group of people? Yeah, I did, and I'm not even sorry. When I bought that lakefront lot at the very end of Willow Creek Road, I wasn't just chasing some lakeside fantasy. I was making a point. See, that spot was exactly 1 foot outside the Oak Shores HOA's boundary. Not an inch more, not an inch less. You should have seen me, walking the line with a tape measure like some obsessed lunatic, double-checking survey maps, county plats, deeds, you name it, I checked it. Why? Because I've danced with HOAs before, and let me tell you, those folks would try to tell you what color to paint your toilet seat if you give him half a chance. So, picture this. Me, Trent Sandel, 43, a little bit gray, a little bit stubborn, used to build houses for a living until the dust and the divorce forced me to slow down. No kids, no plans, just one last project, my own dream cabin by the water. No covenants, no restrictions, no monthly ransom disguised as dues. Just loons, a stack of 2x6s, and a pile of hope. That's all I wanted. The trouble started, and isn't that always the way? The very first day, I poured concrete. I'm there trying to keep my footing steady when up rolls this beige SUV, kicking up dust like it owns the air. Out steps the queen of Karens herself. Well, technically Brenda Whitmore, but the haircut, the sunglasses, that tight frown, she could have been the CEO of Annoying Neighbors International. She stomps across the gravel, points at me like I'm vandalizing her church. You can't build there, she says, just like that, like she's casting a spell. I wipe the sweat off my brow, lean on my shovel, and say, actually, I can. County signed off, permits are in order, and surprise. You're standing outside the HOA line, Brenda. She looks at me like I just told her gravity was optional. Oak Shores regulations apply to all lakefront properties. She insists, sniffing like the air itself is out of compliance. We have jurisdiction over the lake view and shorefront aesthetic. I grin. That sounds made up. It was. She threatens lawyers. I show her the county map. She storms off, tires squealing, SUV wobbling, HOA bumper stickers shining in the sun. Now, you'd think that'd be the end of it. But have you ever met an HOA president? 3 days later, I get a thick letter from some law firm, certified mail, bold print, and threats about viewscape integrity and contiguous shoreline. Yeah, I tossed it on my workbench and kept hammering. But Brenda, oh, she wasn't done. I barely got the subfloor down before a big, shiny violation notice popped up at the end of my driveway, right there in the middle of my land. Oak Shores logo, list of made-up infractions, unauthorized construction, environmental disruption, failure to submit architectural plans. I laughed, yanked it out of the dirt, and threw it on the scrap pile. Called the county next. Dave at the building office, great guy, remembered my permits. Got a fake violation from Oak Shores on my property. He whistles. That's illegal. I'll file an incident report and let the county attorney know. I hang up thinking, all right, maybe that's the end, but Brenda and her clipboard squad just kept doubling down. Couple days go by. I pull up to the lot, and there's some guy in khakis and a neon vest poking around my retaining wall like he's with Homeland Security. You with the county? I shout. He jumps. HOA Compliance Division, there is no such thing, not here. You're trespassing, I tell him deadpan. He drives off, probably to go debrief the queen. You know what I did next? Installed trail cameras. Front, backside lake, let him try something cute. Next weekend, Cassidy shows up. She's a retired firefighter with forearms like baseball bats. Runs a sawmill nearby. Allergic to bull. We're hauling lumber when she nods toward the lake. Got company. And sure enough, Brenda's marching up with 2 guys in polos, clipboards out like badges. Official perimeter review, Brenda announces, adjusting her sunglasses. Cassidy barks a laugh. What the hell is a perimeter review? Brenda ignores her. You've encroached on community access space. This path is part of a shared use easement. I pull out my survey. No, it's not. Pat's on my parcel. Want to see the report. One of the goons steps up, spouts something about a Class C infraction. Cassidy moves closer. This ain't Oak Shores. This is private property. Turn around before someone calls the sheriff. Brenda just says, we'll file a formal injunction. I shrug. Spell my address right this time. They leave, but that night, someone cuts my power cable. the one for my temporary construction box. That's not just petty, that's dangerous. I check the trail cam, catch a shadow at 2:46 a.m., crouching by my generator. Too big to be Brenda, too lean for her clipboard clones. I take the footage to the sheriff. Deputy Langford, sharp as a tack, pauses the tape. That's Larry Cummings. Wrecked his knee last winter, walks like he's dragging a boat anchor. He nods. That's felony vandalism. Larry's arrested 3 days later, right in the middle of a board meeting. He sings, blames the board for directives. My lawyer, Priya, used to work for the city. Now she grins like a poker champ holding a royal flush. We've got them boxed in, she says. If their emails mention coordinated actions, that's conspiracy. She files for discovery. And what do you know? The HOA's internal messages are a goldmine. Brenda calling me a threat to property values. Larry emailing, I'll handle the generator. Priya interviews a former board member. Guy admits they planned to pressure me into quitting. HOA tries to buy me off, 25 grand and a non-disclosure. Priya laughs and pushes for court. Preliminary hearing. The judge looks more annoyed with every page. You understand, he says to Brenda's lawyer. Your client has no legal authority over this man's property? Lawyer mumbles about shoreline impact zones. Judge is not amused. This is coordinated harassment and vandalism. Might be criminal conspiracy. Brenda's suddenly MIA at meetings. 3 board members resign for personal reasons. Sure, cabin keeps rising. Cassidy brings bourbon the day the roof's sealed. To neighbors who mind their business, she toasts. I laugh, point at my new security cam. Wouldn't want them to miss the grand opening. Winter comes, snow piles up, and for a while it's peace, but peace never lasts. County letter arrives, bland envelope, single page. My land's been temporarily reclassified as recreational use with shared community oversight. Bureaucratic nonsense. Except now the HOA has a toehold. Cassidy reads the letter, whistles. They're playing dirty. I dig into the county records, find a memo from a brand new environmental coalition, registered by Douglas Whitmore. Brenda's husband. I march into the county clerk's office, pull the filings. Fake nonprofit, fake board, UPS store mailbox, mission statement lifted straight from the Oak Shores Charter. Priya calls it what it is, fraud. Files for an injunction. Demands disclosure of county emails. We find a trail straight to a staffer, Ryan Kellerman. Guy flagged my parcel for review as a favor for Douglas, expecting a promotion if Douglas made the zoning board. State investigators show up. Ryan's arrested for abuse of office, flips on Brenda and Douglas. Brenda's caught off guard, tries to make nice, sends a 1-page letter offering to resolve everything amicably. I send it straight to Alina Voss, a local reporter known for burning corruption to the ground. Her article hits like a thunderclap. Fake nonprofit, real power grab. TV picks it up. HOA becomes a regional punchline. State AG opens a formal investigation. Audits start rolling. Financial irregularities everywhere. Slush funds, phantom consulting fees, a landscaping vendor with no equipment, just Douglas's cousin and a vacant lot. Racketeering charges. Fraud. Brenda and Douglas indicted, others too. Brenda stuck on house arrest. Douglas denied bail. The judge even cites flight risk and evidence tampering. Sandals' law passes. Statewide HOA transparency. Didn't want that legacy, but I'll take it. The new interim HOA president, Calvin, calls me. He sounds beat. We're cleaning house. Want you to speak at a community meeting. I go, tell the whole story. The fake violations, vandalism, phony nonprofit. Room silent. Then applause, hesitant at first, then building. On my way out, an older woman in a faded jacket grabs my sleeve. Most folks just give up, she says. You made them wish they'd never found your name. She smiles, small but honest. Back home, I watch the lake, feel that peace again, hard-won and real. A few days later, State Auditor's Office confirms Oak Shores is under formal oversight. Accounts frozen, evidence of systemic misconduct. Priya calls, they found more. Money laundering, shell contracts, all of it tied to the Whitmores. AG's office opens a RICO case. I hand everything to the sheriff, sit through the interviews, show the notebooks, the footage, the whole messy trail. By spring, Oak Shores dissolves the environmental committee, posts real boundary markers, rewrites the bylaws. Calvin tells me, "You were the wake-up call." Most people just paid up and prayed Brenda never noticed their lawn. Now the board posts minutes and budgets. No more secret crusades. Cassidy brings a crate of seedlings. We plant mountain laurel, creeping thyme, black-eyed Susans, barefoot in the mud. "Ever think about joining the zoning board?" she asks. I just shake my head. I'd rather build than argue. The county auctions off the vacant lot tied to that fake vendor. I buy it cheap, turn it into a public fishing spot. One bench, one trash can, a sign that reads, "No dues, no rules, just respect." Locals show up, bring their kids, their rods. No one asks who owns it. That's enough for me. And Oak Shores? They still meet, but now they keep to their side. Minutes posted, budgets open, every move out in the sunlight where it belongs. So let me ask you, where do you draw your line? How far would you go to keep what's yours? Drop your stories, your gripes, your wins. I want to hear about it. Justice, boundaries, standing up when no one else will. Tell me where you stand. And if you ever find yourself facing down a clipboard tyrant, just remember, the line only matters if someone's willing to hold it.